Race fans, now I have a question for you. What makes a week in racing truly unforgettable? Is it the raw emotion of a driver finally breaking through for that first career changing win? Is it the coronation of a champion and him celebrating a season of consistency as an entire era comes to a close? What if I told you that in the span of just 7 days, we saw all of it? We watched new stars get born in the High Limit Racing Tour's swing through Pennsylvania. We saw the All-Star Circuit of Champions crown their final king at the historic Fremont Speedway in this new era of the All-Stars, and we followed the World of Outlaws as they stormed through the bull rings of California. But all of that was just the opening act for a blockbuster announcement that was created as a new super team is formed, redrawing the battle lines for 2026. It sent shockwaves through the entire sport. We have breakthroughs, champions, and the biggest silly season news in a decade all right here. I'm Russ Fritz telling you to strap in tight because this isn't just racing, this is switching grooves. As the 2025 sprint car season charges into its final stretch, the week of September 12th proved to be one of the most consequential of the year. While championships were decided and hard fought victories were earned, the on track action was nearly overshadowed by a blockbuster announcement that sent shockwaves through the pit area, fundamentally altering the landscape for 2026 and beyond. High Limit's first timer frenzy and a championship statement, the Kubota High Limit Racing Series Tour actually swung through the East produced a stunning string of first time winners and a dramatic midweek thriller that saw a championship favorite make a powerful statement. The Commonwealth Clash. Well, here's Tanner Thorson's triumphant charge. It was a win that felt inevitable. After 84 attempts and 5 runner-up finishes, Tanner Thorson finally parked the Rod Gross Motorsports number 88 in High Limit Victory Lane. The Minden, Nevada native put on a masterful performance, methodically working his way from 12th. He hunted down leader Brad Sweet in the closing laps, making a daring race-winning slide job in lap traffic with only 3 to go to secure the emotional victory. And night number 2, well, that was Persley's $30,000 payday. The theme of the first-time winners continued as Dazen Persley scored his maiden high-limit victory in the $30,000 to win finale. The 20-year-old rookie from Oklahoma survived an intense 4-car battle for the lead early on, retaking the top spot from Brad Sweet on lap 25 and driving away to the biggest win of his young career. Then we have the Battle of the Berg. Hours after his future with Tony Stewart Racing was announced, Rico Abreu proved his focus was unshaken. In one of the most dramatic finishes of the season, Abreu battled back and forth with Corey Day before a 3-way dogfight erupted on the final lap. Abreu used a perfectly executed slide job in the final corner to hold off a hard-charging Aaron Reitzel and a high-siding Dazen Persley, winning by a mere 0.026 seconds. The victory, well, his series-leading 10th, extended his championship to 24 points over Aaron Reitzel. But the big news over the weekend was actually the Jim Ford Classic. The All-Star Circuit of Champions actually concluded its final end of the season with a dramatic weekend at Fremont Speedway. Night number 1 saw local favorite Cap Henry actually bring the Fremont faithful to their feet with a spectacular charge from deep in the field. after being involved in an early race caution that sent him to the tail. Actually, I don't think it sent him to the tail. May have, I forget. But he actually navigated his way right back through all the traffic, picking off cars one by one, and stole the win on the opening night of the Jim Ford Classic. And night number 2, well, Cap Henry does it again. He sweeps the weekend. Caleb Henry is crowned champion, and then we call it a season. But Cap Henry actually proved his versatility, completing a weekend sweep on a much heavier, faster track surface by winning a thrilling drag race against Cale Thomas. While Cap Henry owned the weekend, the season actually belonged to Caleb Henry. By simply taking the green flag in qualifying, he mathematically secured the 2025 All-Star Circuit of Champions driver title. His 4th place finish in the feature also sealed the Owners' Championship for the Racers for Life Running Boxer Farms 101 team, capping a phenomenal season of consistency. Not the Owners' Championship, the Drivers' Championship, I'm sorry. But the Owners' Championship actually went to Cale Thomas, and if it wasn't for him having or leaving to go to the 1A, he would have been in contention a lot closer with Caleb to winning that Drivers' Championship. But unfortunately, things didn't work out, and he comes back. So that's just kind of how things worked out. I spoke with Cale, but he wasn't too upset about it. I mean, he helped his team win $20,000. So, I mean, what the hey, right? Well, the World of Outlaws actually continued their California quest with their western swing through the Golden State, and it actually saw a popular veteran return to victory lane and a rising star dominate at a historic event. The Nashville West Showdown was actually Macedo mastering the bull ring, and Macedo actually gave the home state fans the reason to cheer, dominating the feature at the Bakersfield Speedway bull ring. Macedo, driving for Jason Johnson Racing, took the lead early and masterfully navigated dense lap traffic to secure the victory over David Gravel and Sheldon Haudenschild. But the SoCal Showdown belonged to Bill Baylog. Veteran Bill Baylog, the North Pole Nightmare, scored a popular and emotional victory at the Perris Auto Speedway. Starting from the pole, the driver from Alaska held off relentless pressure from 2 of the series' heaviest hitters, point leader David Gravel and Buddy Kofoid, third in points, that is, and actually scored his first win of the season. Now the announcement that shook the sprint car world. Now, I shortened everything up so we could talk about this a little bit more in depth. So it wasn't just a rumor, and it wasn't a quiet press release. On Wednesday, the sprint car world was actually rocked by one of the biggest driver announcements in recent memory. In a move that sent shockwaves from the pit stalls to the grandstands, it was confirmed. Rico Abreu, the current high limit racing point leader and arguably the most popular driver in the sport right now, will actually join Tony Stewart Racing full-time for the 2026 season. The news broke in a modern, high-profile fashion on the Dale Jr. Download podcast, where both Tony Stewart and Rico Abreu actually sat down with Dale Jr. to discuss the blockbuster deal. This wasn't just a signing. It was the merger of 2 powerhouse brands. To understand why this move is actually so monumental, you have to understand the phenomenon that is Rico Abreu. The California native is more than just a driver. He's an icon in the dirt racing world. His on-track style is pure excitement, and Abreu is famous for running the ragged edge, masterfully ripping the lip right up against the cushion, which is a high-risk, high-reward approach that often leads to breathtaking victories. This raw talent, however, is only half of the equation. What makes this deal so significant is his unparalleled connection with the fan base. He doesn't just drive a race car, he embodies the heart and soul of grassroots racing, creating a fiercely loyal following that few in any form of motorsports can actually claim. Joining Tony Stewart Racing isn't just stepping into another top-tier ride. It's taking the wheel of a modern dynasty. The cornerstone of the TSR sprint car racing legacy was its historic partnership with Donny Schatz. They actually formed one of the most dominant pairings in motorsports history. But however, the foundation of the sport was rocked just last week, or just this week, or no, excuse me, just last month, when Schatz at TSR announced they would actually be parting ways right after the Knoxville Nationals. In a swift and decisive response, Tony Stewart has now filled that void for next season with the biggest star available. The joining of Rico Abreu isn't a rebuilding move. It's actually a blockbuster reload. This isn't a traditional driver signing. It's this, what do I want to call it? It's the strategic assembly of a modern super team. TSR will actually lease the High Limit Racing franchise directly from Rico Abreu Racing, but the most critical detail lies in the operational control. Rico Abreu is bringing his entire championship-proven operation right along with him, including legendary crew chief Ricky Warner. Now, this is where the story gets another compelling twist. Warner is the architect behind much of Donny Schatz's success at TSR before being let go. His return to the TSR banner with Rico creates an incredible redemption arc and ensures the team is built to win immediately. The Rico Abreu Racing and TSR alliance is a seismic event that actually reshapes the entire landscape of professional sprint car racing. It's a massive coup for the High Limit Racing Series, validating it as a premier destination for elite teams. It also serves as a symbolic blow to the World of Outlaws, as one of its former foundational teams is now reborn as a flagship competitor on a rival tour. This alliance was the first and biggest domino of the silly season, and it will actually accelerate the plans of other top teams as they actually strategize how to compete with the new powerhouse. But with the ink barely dry on the announcement, the expectations for 2026 are already monumental. The key question isn't if the team will actually be competitive, but rather, can anyone actually stop them? All eyes will be on the new powerhouse as they actually chase the High Limit Racing Championship against stars like Brad Sweet, Aaron Reisel, and Kyle Larson. But for Rico, it's the opportunity to capture that elusive first National Touring Series title, if it doesn't happen this year. But for Tony Stewart, it's a clear move to place his team back at the absolute pinnacle of the sport. This past week has been a whirlwind of crowning achievements and groundbreaking news. From the parody shown in the High Limit to the emotional championship finale for the All-Stars, the on-track action has been superb. Looking ahead, well, the weekend is far from over. The High Limit Racing Tour will crown a four-crown Nationals champion tomorrow over at Eldora Speedway in a pivotal event for the title chase. And the World of Outlaws also remain in Tulare for the second night of the Dennis Roth Classic after being rained out tonight. With championships tightening and the 2026 landscape already taking shape, the final weeks of the 2025 season promise to be as thrilling as ever. But that's going to do it for this episode. But remember, we bring you insane motorsports moments, professional breakdowns, and adrenaline-packed edits every single week. Whether you live for those sideways, mudslinging dirt sliders, or the rubber-squealing, paint-trading speed of NASCAR, you belong right here. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a finish. And until next time, keep switching grooves. I'm Russ Fritz saying race hard, stay safe, and we'll see you there.